जीतते हैं तो बचे हुए 24 भी डिस्क्वालीफाई हो गए और सरकार तुरंत गिर जाएगी। सरकार को खतरा नहीं, ऐसे कैसे कोई बोल सकता है? अगर मुख्यमंत्री शिंदे का भी नाम है डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन के लिस्ट में, अगर मुख्यमंत्री डिस्क्वालीफाई हो जाएंगे तो समझ लो ये सरकार और ये गद्दारों का गढ़ खत्म हो जाएगा। मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा, सरकार के बारे में निर्णय एक संवैधानिक पीठ लेने वाली है, तो इस बारे में मैं अभी बात नाही करू। त्यांचं मत असेल ते, त्यांचं मत असू शकतं, ते लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन आहेत, पण ते विधानसभेत विरोधी पक्षनेते आहेत। मी महाविकास आघाडी नसेल पण शिवसेनेचा नेता आहे, आम्ही विरोधी पक्षात आहोत आणि मला पूर्ण खात्री आहे जर 16 आमदार अपात्र ठरले तर मुख्यमंत्री अपात्र ठरत आहेत। हे 16 आमदार अपात्र ठरणार असतील तर उरलेले 24 आपोआप अपात्र ठरतील। त्याच्यामुळे हे सरकार क्षणभरही राहणार नाही, हे सरकार जाईल।
Shiv Sena today, so I will be contesting for Shiv Sena party for Uddhav Thackeray and not for Mahavikas Aghadi today. Speaker, who is at the current position, who said that the order will be passed by his side, is an unconstitutional speaker, and henceforth we won't agree to what he says.
हा मूर्खपणा असल्याचं देवेंद्र फडणवीस म्हणतात, त्याच्यामुळे देवेंद्र
For the kind of statement that they are making with regards to what is clearly not acceptable.
इस प्रकार की बात करना निर्णय के पहले मूर्खता है, ऐसा बयान देवेंद्र फडणवीस ने दिया है, तो ऐसे मूर्ख लोगों को देवेंद्र फडणवीस जी ने कंट्रोल करना चाहिए। मैं मेरी बात नहीं कहता हूँ, देवेंद्र की बात कर रहा हूँ।
सर, अपात्र ठरवल्यावर एक्झिट पोल कर्नाटक में बता रहा कांग्रेस आ रही है। अपात्र ठरवल्यावर पुन्हा निवडणूक आयोगाकडे जाण्याची शक्यता वर्तवण्यात येते।
ते जर तरच्या गोष्टी आम्ही नंतर पाहू, या क्षणी आम्ही निर्णयाकडे पाहू।
अंजली दमानी ट्वीट केलंय की राजकारणाचा तमाशा करून
एक्झिट पोल पर कर्नाटक बता रहे कि कांग्रेस जीत रही है, बीजेपी हार।
कांग्रेस 100% जीत रही है और कांग्रेस का मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा, ये हवा बता रही है और लोगों का दिल भी बता रहा है। कर्नाटक के लोगों की दिल की धड़कनें बता रही है कि यहाँ से बीजेपी जा रही है। धन्यवाद।
नीतीश कुमार येत आहेत, नीतीश कुमारांचा दौरा आहे मुंबईचा।
नीतीश कुमार जी का क्या पूछा आपने? बिहार के मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार और बिहार की उप मुख्यमंत्री तेजस्वी यादव जी, दोनों प्रमुख नेता आज 1 बजे के आसपास मातोश्री पर आएंगे और शिवसेना पक्ष प्रमुख उद्धव ठाकरे जी के साथ उनकी बातचीत होगी। ये बातचीत होगी खास करके जो देश में जो एक अपोजिशन का फ्रंट बन रहा है उस बारे में बात करना चाहते हैं। शायद हम सब भी उनके साथ रहेंगे, शिवसेना का डेलीगेशन रहेगा और लगभग 2 घंटे तक वो रहेंगे, ऐसा उनका शेड्यूल है।
मराठीत सांगा ना, नीतीश कुमार येणार आहे का एकंदरीत?
बिहारचे मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी, उपमुख्यमंत्री तेजस्वी यादव जी, हे दोन्ही प्रमुख नेते आज पाटण्यातून मुंबईला येतील। मातोश्रीवर 1 वाजता त्यांची शिवसेनेचे पक्ष प्रमुख उद्धव ठाकरे यांच्याशी भेट आहे, चर्चा आहे, भोजन आहे एकत्र। देशामध्ये सध्या त्या घडामोडी सुरू आहेत। विरोधी पक्षाच्या राष्ट्रीय स्तरावर ऐक्यासंदर्भात, आघाडी संदर्भात ज्या चर्चा सुरू आहेत त्या संदर्भात बहुधा त्यांना येऊन चर्चा करायची।
कर्नाटकात काल निवडणूक झाली
आणि आम्ही सगळे उद्योजन जरूर तिकडे आहोत, आम्ही चर्चेत सहभागी।
कर्नाटक की काल निवडणूक झाली,
उद्धव ठाकरे जी के आज के क्या विचार हैं, क्या बात करेंगे?
नहीं, हम वेट कर रहे हैं। हमारा सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के ऊपर पूरा विश्वास है, हमें पूरा विश्वास है इस देश की व्यक्ति कितनी भी चाहे बड़ी हो, संविधान को खत्म करके, लोकतंत्र को खत्म करके राजनीति नहीं कर सकता।
सर, कर्नाटक की निवडणूक झाली है,
मेरा एलिगेशन आरएसएस पर नहीं, आप पढ़ लीजिए, लेकिन आरएसएस के ऊपर हमारी उंगली है।
कर्नाटक निवडणूक काय सांगाल?
Okay, all right. So today is a big day for Maharashtra. In fact, the Supreme Court is going to take up 2 big hearings, one pertaining to Delhi, another Maharashtra. We're going to keep you updated on what's happening in the Supreme Court because it is going to have a lot of political ramifications as well. Legal editor Harish Rai on the broadcast with us for a political perspective. Radhika and Shivani also live with us. First, let me go across to Harish. Harish, it's a very, very important day after the political upheaval that we saw in Maharashtra. Today, the Supreme Court is expected to settle the matter and give its verdict. Okay, so we'll just go to Harish in just a moment. But remember, it was 11 months ago when Shinde and his faction had pulled off a coup against Uddhav Thackeray. The checkmate had led to Uddhav resigning from the post of the chief minister and Eknath Shinde taking his place, powered by, of course, the BJP. Harish, back with us. Harish, what's expected in the Supreme Court today, because the court will deliver its verdict on the Shiv Sena mutiny that took place in June last year, and there has been a lot of political upheaval, but today finally the top court is expected to settle the matter.
Yes, that's right. Good morning, Pratibha. It's a massive judgment going to come from the Supreme Court at 11 a.m. And it's going to have a huge implication on the Maharashtra politics and especially the legacy battle between the Uddhav faction and the Shinde faction and several. Remember how it all started is that it was when the Supreme Court stayed the disqualification proceedings initiated by the then Deputy Speaker against the rebel Sena MLAs led by Eknath Shinde, and at the same time refused to the trust vote called by the governor against the then Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, before which he resigned, and after which dramatically Eknath Shinde with the help of BJP formed a government, and after that a slew of petitions were filed in the Supreme Court. Basically Supreme Court and most of these petitions questioned dealt with the issues of disqualification, defection and merger and powers of the governor and deputy speaker. Remember, during the going by the tone and tenor of the hearing, and if there is not a major turnaround, the Supreme Court is unlikely to pass any orders which will dislodge the Eknath Shinde BJP government. Remember, the Supreme Court bench had repeatedly asked how can we reinstate a chief minister who had resigned before going for the trust vote. Logical thing for Uddhav Thackeray would have been that he took the trust vote, lost, and then come to Supreme Court challenging the governor's order for trust vote and violation of whip by the Eknath Shinde block of MLAs. At the same time, Supreme Court had also come down heavily on the conduct of then Governor B.S. Koshyari, saying that he had played a partisan role and had become a catalyst and precipitated the fall of the government, and raised several questions like how can he direct a trust vote when it was a case of internal rift within the Shiv Sena. There was nothing to show on record that Shiv Sena as a party had withdrawn the support to the Mahavikas Aghadi, and the governor should not have been seen playing a partisan role and should not have got into the political thicket. So what we can expect is that there will not be there will be no order from the Supreme Court which will result in a fall of the Eknath BJP government, and especially the Supreme Court will not decide on the disqualification of the 14 to 15 MLAs of the Eknath Shinde faction, as Supreme Court has repeatedly said during the hearing that is the prerogative of the Speaker. And even if the Supreme Court directs the Speaker to take a decision, now the Speaker sitting in the Assembly is of Eknath Shinde. So remember, Supreme Court might also lay down some guidelines, some rules as to within how many days a Speaker should decide the disqualification petition of MLAs.
Which could have an impact in the other states as well, which is why the batch of petitions are extremely crucial in the top court. Request you to stay on with us. Shivani, the top court will also, among the many decisions that will be taken today, will be deciding whether Shinde and 15 other MLAs should be disqualified for revolting against then Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray.
Well, here, of course, the verdict will be coming from the Supreme Court today, but we have to understand one more thing, that even if the disqualification comes, even if Eknath Shinde gets disqualified along with other 15 MLAs, he can still sustain on the position of Chief Minister of Maharashtra for at least 6 months. We have earlier also seen that, Uddhav Thackeray himself was a Chief Minister like this, who was holding no position back then, but he became the Chief Minister. Later he contested for the position and became the MLC in Maharashtra. The same way today, even if the disqualification comes from Eknath Shinde, it will definitely be a backset for the party, but definitely he can still continue to remain on the position of Chief Minister. Also, the majority still continues to be with the BJP and the Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena, and henceforth we can say there will be no fall of government. But of course, the setback will be for any of the party, no matter if it is Shiv Sena or Uddhav Thackeray's Uddhav Thackeray party. Indeed, the decision will come. The Shiv Sena of Eknath Shinde still is on wait and watch position, whereas they have said that legally we are on the right path. Legally also, battle which we have fought, the verdict will come on our side. Yesterday we also heard the DCM of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, who also showcased his faith in the law and judiciary and the court, and he said that our case is stronger and henceforth the verdict will be in our favor. But to understand the fact as to why the government won't fall, we have several calculations, the numbers with us to explain to our viewers that there are total 288 seats in the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly, out of which even if the 16 MLAs gets disqualified, there will be 272 MLAs those will sustain, and in such a situation to support 137 MLA is necessary to remain in the government as a majority. So 137 number is what the government needs, but the BJP and the Shiv Sena of Eknath Shinde in total has 164 MLAs. So out of 164, if 16 gets disqualified then also the government has 148 MLAs. So more than the majority, they have 11 more MLAs to sustain in the government, and that is why the government won't fall. But yes, indeed, the verdict today that will be passed by the Supreme Court will increase the battle between the original Shiv Sena, between the Eknath Shinde and Uddhav Thackeray, because as of now also the way Sanjay Raut, the Uddhav Thackeray party leaders are coming ahead and are saying that they will be disqualified, the government will fall. But on legal perspective, that is not the reality that we have to focus on right now.
Okay, all right. So, you know, the decision that had been taken by the governor is also going to come into question today.